All right, we are live. Yay. Welcome to Trail Talk.
Hey, y'all.
Thanks for joining us today, guys. Been looking forward to this lesson, another in the series of our state symbols and emblems. Mary will be joining us in a minute, but we are going to talk about our state butterfly today. And I guess I was a little bit surprised by what butterfly was chosen. I don't know why, but I guess monarchs. I mean, I know I have seen monarch butterflies like stop over on their migration through. Maybe that's why they migrate, but at any rate, the Oklahoma state butterfly is, drum roll, the black swallowtail butterfly. And I'll be honest with you, now that I know that, I don't know that I see these butterflies very often. Do you?
Ooh, no, but it's, no.
I
It kinda looks
know.
like there's a light shining through. Hi, guys. Kind of like there's a light shining through, and that's just where the little holes are.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I am not, I will be watching for these butterflies now. But anyway, yes, the Oklahoma State butterfly. It was adopted in 1996 in a bill that states, all of these symbols and emblems are by bills from the
There's a reason
legislature.
behind it.
Yeah. It states the black swallowtail plays a vital role in the cross-pollination of plant life in Oklahoma, which is a necessary link in the chain which supports our ecology. In addition, the presence of the black swallowtail in Oklahoma not only adds color and beauty to our state, but provides enjoyment for our citizens and an opportunity to study and understand the contributions this insect makes to our environment.
Amen.
Woo!
All of that.
All of that, but I think that is one of the things about, you don't always stop and think. Oh, by the way, I know that the promotional material said butterfly and insect, but there was a lot of information about the butterfly and the insect, which I'm going to make you wait to know what it is. Yes.
You're gonna have to cocoon and metamorphosis.
That's right. And so anyway, we're only doing one of them today. But is how important it is to have these, I guess, I don't know, insects or whatever they are, butterflies.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what,
Everything kind of has their place.
I guess they're that part of the animal kingdom.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Animal,
They are.
plant, what is it? Plant,
the-
animal,
Papilla, or is that just the
Papilio, Polixenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it? Animal, vegetable, mineral, and what is the, I don't know. Anyway,
It's been a long week.
I digress, right? Anyway, so is the pollination, that is a really important
It
role
is,
in
kinda like
nature.
They've made movies about it, even the bees,
Yes,
like
yes,
the
exactly.
bees are gone, you
Yeah.
gotta have everything has a reason and a purpose.
So, this is a very important part of the ecology.
Because they are the prime pollinators
Yes,
of the
yes.
azalea.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes. And the people, I bet the people up in Muskogee, isn't that where they have that big azalea festival?
I bet they have a bunch of.
I bet they do. I bet the black swallowtail is prolific
I
up
bet
there.
it is.
And if it's not the prime pollinator, it is an important pollinator probably for a lot of plants.
Right, exactly.
That grow around here. So the eastern black swallowtail, which is this one, it's a common visitor in fields and farmlands. It visits open areas.
Doesn't like to be shut in.
Free and urban landscapes, and can be seen from the Gulf of Mexico to southern Canada, and from the Atlantic seaboard westward to Arizona, Southern California, Colorado, and North Dakota. So It's practically the entire United States.
Right, it's everywhere.
Yes,
It's
and
been there, done that.
and that's probably one reason that they were chosen because, like I said, they don't migrate. They're around and they're, you know,
They're homebodies, that when
Yeah.
they pick their area, they stay there.
yeah, and they're doing their job.
Mm-hmm.
So they, like I said, they like to live in open areas, but I mean, thinking of the wide range of geography
Mm-hmm.
where they live. Wet prairies, fields, flat woods, pines, savannas, roadsides, weedy areas, gardens. The males perch and patrol open areas for females, often near patches of a host plant.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of this lesson is going to be on the life cycle
Right.
of
Of
these
these.
butterflies. So first of all, let's look at the difference.
Male versus female.
Mhm. And there is a kind of a significant difference between the two. I feel like their wing shape is slightly different.
He's got more of an arch.
Yeah, the male arches down, the females is not quite as
More
far
the,
down.
more the usual butterfly shape that you.
Right, right. These yellowish spots are larger on the male.
Mhm.
It looks like the little swallowtail part is a
Mhm.
little bit bigger
Mhm.
on him. Let's see, I was going to. The male has the spots more on, the female has smaller spots, but a larger area
The
of blue.
Mhm. I was just noticing that his is
Mhm.
mainly on the back here, hers
Mhm.
goes further up.
Goes further. I mean, so they're pretty similar.
Mhm.
I feel like you might need
They'd have
to
to side by
see-
side.
To differentiate.
Mhm. The wings are probably the main difference that you could see here, the
Mhm.
difference from a distance anyway.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. A lot of people raise these butterflies.
Really?
These are in one of those little butterfly.
I can see the little
Things.
netting.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that was one thing that I realized when I was looking at all of this up is that these are people raise them and release them into their gardens.
Oh, okay,
You know.
for their own sake
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
or stay.
Exactly. So, when the female lays eggs, she lays them individually. It's not like a clump of them.
Right.
Yeah, like this little guy right here.
That's one.
This is a zoom in on a dill plant.
Okay.
So that tells you how
How small.
zoomed in,
Mhm.
yeah, and how very tiny those little eggs are. And depending on temperature and the species of the host plant, the egg stage lasts from 4 to 9 days. So that's not very long.
Mm-mm.
I'm
No.
thinking, when I was going through this life cycle, I was like, maybe I want to try to raise a
Have-
butterfly or two.
Yeah, hatchling.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
It's kind of cool.
it would be. I can see why. Teachers, I
Mhm.
know they will do
Right,
butterflies
right.
sometimes. I kind of think now I know why. You wouldn't really lose interest in it.
Uh-huh.
So they lay the eggs and then 4 to 9 days later, the egg hatches into a larva. Okay, and again, you can see how very small that
Yes.
larva is
Very
because
tiny.
this is still the dill plant.
Mhm. Mhm.
And those are, fine, very small and
Mhm,
fine,
mhm.
these little branches are.
Mhm.
And the white saddle part there on the larva, that's kind of one of its significant markings there. Let me see if I can find this. So the host plants that it likes are similar to the dill,
Okay.
like fennel, parsley, carrot top, celery, they'll have that kind of fine.
Pine, greenery.
Mhm,
Yeah.
yeah, and so.
Not really leafy, not real big leaf type things.
Yeah. Now they like to drink nectar from milkweed, clover, thistles, and other plants like that. So those are kind of weeds
Mhm.
that they like to they like to eat from. So, so this larva stage right here, lasts for 3 to 4 weeks. And during this stage, I was, reading on, oh, okay, here it is. So on this eggs, so the female will lay between 200 and like 400 pale yellow eggs at a rate of 30 to 50 a day. And they will turn dark gray just before they hatch. And this says takes 10 to 13 days.
Maybe
So,
depending on the temperatures too.
yeah, that's possible. So the egg hatches and you have this tiny little larva here.
Mhm.
Now, one thing that happens with this larva, because the larva then becomes the caterpillar,
Mhm.
but it doesn't just go from this little thing to the caterpillar. A small caterpillar comes out of that skin, kind of,
Mhm.
and eats that skin. Like it comes out, it turns itself around and it eats the skin that it came out of, and that the nutrients in that skin
Help it to
help
produce.
it. And so it goes in stages like that until it is the full size, but every one of them looks the same.
Okay.
And it will kind of turn darker and shed a skin and then eat that and until it's the full size
That it needs to
that
be.
it needs to be. Now, the black swallowtail caterpillar is similar to the monarch and another caterpillar in that they are all black and white and yellow. But the others have like little antenna things that stick up and different, different kinds of things like that. But these guys are these are the things that now then they will form into the chrysalis, but while they're here, they're eating on the plant.
Okay.
So, you kind of have to you can see it, that it's still dill and you can tell that it's bigger now. It's expanding in size.
Right.
And so, it will eat off, you can tell it ate that little part right there. And so it's growing and eating. And so these plants that are the host plants are not necessarily the ones that they help cross-pollinate or that they drink nectar from when they are butterflies, but it's the plant that they grow the best through these other stages.
It's like their incubator.
Yeah,
Their life force,
exactly. It's so interesting to me, all of these stages.
and how it's different from one another.
Yes, exactly. They don't look anything.
No, you would not think that this would produce that beautiful butterfly.
Exactly.
Or that little
When you
hairy
said
looking thing.
It reminded me of that movie, A Bug's Life, that has the caterpillar and he's finally gets wings and he says, "I'm a beautiful butterfly." Yeah, that's funny. So a mature caterpillar, so this is the full size guy. He's gonna be the one that turns into what's next, which is the green chrysalis. So the caterpillar creates this little silk thing. The chrysalis is not like a whole silk thing wrapped around it.
It's not like a cocoon.
And he makes this little loop and then wiggles himself around and puts himself in it. And then it turns into this chrysalis, this more shell-like thing that keeps the caterpillar until it can become the butterfly. It's just,
I wish there was time lapse.
I do
I wish there was
too.
a time lapse video that you could watch them do all this, like make this.
Which is why I think I want to raise some.
You're gonna have to have a camera going in so we can see it.
Yeah,
'Cause you might miss it.
exactly. So the color variation, it can be green or to brown, okay?
And so this doesn't mean it's dead.
Right,
This is an actual color.
right, yeah, and you can see the silky little thing,
Stringy.
even better. But it makes it's kind of makes a J shape.
Kind of an arch.
Yeah, and then the chrysalis forms and it pulls that part out, and so that's why it makes that little loop to hold it in place. It's fascinating.
Suspension hold
Yeah.
there.
So, it just depends on a lot of things, what color. They tend to be brown in the winter and on rough surfaces and green in the summer on smoother surfaces to blend in better.
And then it turns clear just before it's ready to hatch.
Right, so, the green, the brown, and then this is what's left. So you can tell it has become a lot more, a lot thinner where you could see through it. And this is an empty one after the caterpillar has come out of it. So one other thing I read is, so, the caterpillar stage is about a 3 to 4 week time frame. The chrysalis is about 10 to 20 days. And then the adult butterfly only lives for about like a week, 1 to 2 weeks.
So much prep.
So, right, so
much
much work,
prep.
so much.
2 weeks max.
Yeah.
Poor babies.
But, so someone who was raising them thought it was weird because at this stage, they were waiting and waiting and waiting for it to come out, for the butterfly to come out, and it didn't. And it's called, so they call it the last generation, I guess, in a cycle or a year, I don't know. Anyway, over winters and can last for as long as 9 months. It's like I don't know if it just slows down, but it's
missed its window to come out, or
no, it doesn't miss its window. It's just, I guess it's maybe too cold for survival outside of the chrysalis for the butterfly, or there's not enough nectar
enough time
for it to feed it, or for its and there's not pollen.
Another adaptation that just amazing.
Exactly.
Nature takes care of itself.
Exactly. I mean, how cool is that? And so in the wintertime, this particular person would put the plants kind of in a kind of a screened porch area and just watch them and make sure they didn't get too cold. But they have a way to protect themselves through the winter months, because I mean, honestly, they have to have a food supply, even if their life is only 2 weeks, they need a food supply, and they are living for cross-pollination. And so in the winter months, a lot of plants go dormant, and so there's no reason.
Right, exactly.
How cool is that?
That's cool.
Nature is so awesome, y'all. I love it. I love it so much. So there's that empty chrysalis again. And then one more look at the butterfly, but I kind of wanted to go back to a little bit more information. So the young larvae kind of look like a bird dropping. And so that is a protection kind of thing.
Okay.
That
Make it
they,
not look like
right,
what it really is.
right. They typically, like the green is on a smooth, the green, we can just go back and look at them. So this looks like a bird dropping. So another animal that would normally eat these, probably a bird, maybe another caterpillar or insect or something, maybe they're just gonna pass it up. And then these things, they are going to try to blend in with the stem that they're attached to, again, as a protective measure. Camouflage, y'all. These are all things that we talk to kindergarten through 2nd grade kids about here at the museum.
learn
when they
amazing.
visit. Yeah. And I mean, I get blown away. So some of these even have kind of a probably the caterpillar and larva stage mostly. Like if an animal wants to try to eat them, there's like a foul taste that they'll get in their mouths from that.
A repellent.
Yeah. So moving back see, I can't tell. I think this might be a male here.
Yeah, those are pretty wide or big yellow spots.
Yeah, so, only the female is a convincing mimic when the wings are spread of, a different kind of butterfly. But they spend much of their time roosting with their wings closed like this, that maximizes the protective effects of mimicry, which might be talking about like a plant or something. And see, this one is, this is a thistle, and so it's getting nectar. It's feeding off of that. They are, I'm gonna go back here for a second to this guy. He does have weird looking little horn things sticking out on him. I don't really like big fat caterpillars. I'll just be honest with you. When threatened, they will kind of rear up and they have a chemical repellent that they can let off. It's effective against ants, which the little guy here,
Yeah,
I mean, probably the size of an ant,
right.
honestly.
Be carried away by one at least.
Anyway, some insect parasites locate their host by volatile chemicals in the feces. Black swallowtail larvae, like some other swallowtail species, throw their fecal pellets with their mandibles. So I don't know if that means they throw them at
And there you have
a
it.
predator,
Or they just
or
toss it.
if they're just getting rid of them, maybe that gives off an odor that would attract a predator, and so they get rid of it. I don't know, but they throw it
Yeah.
somehow with their
Reminds me of
mandibles.
monkeys.
Something else I would think I would like to observe
Right.
on a video of some sort. I don't know. I just find these things to be super interesting. So there you go. One more flash
So
through
cool.
all of the stages,
So cool.
and then we have the beautiful, I'm gonna say this is a male, black swallowtail butterfly caught in his very brief lifespan.
Right, this 2-week
Drinking,
flash.
yeah, drinking nectar from a thistle.
Right, that's how he spent his days.
Yeah, exactly. So, I know it's a little bit short, but when we do the insect, there's a lot of information. And so we're going to catch up and do the insect next week. But, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching Trail Talk today. And, we will see you guys
Next week.
next week.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So until then, happy trails.